Traveling the plains of the Dakotas, eastern Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado, seeing the enormous mountains that rise up, or standing on the summit of some of the highest places in the United States, I have often dreamed of adventure, the intrigue, the beauty, the challenge, and as the journals of Lewis and Clark put it, the rewards of our ambitions. I find myself dreaming, wondering, pondering. What was it like for the Corps of Discovery to explore these wild places, unknown to most? What was it like to see those enormous Rocky Mountains rising up from the plains? What was it like to explore this mysterious, unknown frontier? What emotions did they feel? Were they as taken back by the beauty as I am? Is that what kept them going? How were they able to endure and complete what they had set out to do? Called by Thomas Jefferson to explore and document the new land purchased from the French, Lewis and Clark left St. Louis on May 14, 1804. The journey ahead of them was tremendous. They knew very little of what to expect, but had specific instructions to document and map their journey all the way to the Pacific Ocean. The Corps of Discovery's journey would last approximately 863 days and would cover over 7,000 miles. Their journey was filled with adventure, danger, beauty, and reward. On my journey of discovery, it was the mountains that captured my heart, and that is where I find myself now, wondering how Lewis and Clark did it. At a distance, the mountains are so intriguing. Because they are there, I want to climb them. I want to see what the world looks like from the top. As Meriwether Lewis journaled, the distant view gave hope. The mountains to him, when he first saw them on May 26, 1805, were the object of all our hopes and the reward of all our ambition. On August 12, 1805, the explorers had reached the source of the Missouri River, high in the mountains of Montana, which yielded its distant and modest tribute to the parent ocean, where they felt themselves rewarded for all their labors and all their difficulties. They must have felt a sense of accomplishment at this point in their journey, but also knew, when they arrived at the top of the ridge, that their labors and difficulties were not over as they looked to the west and saw more high mountains partially covered with snow. I can only imagine how they felt seeing more obstacles of that magnitude standing in their way. Intimidation is what comes to mind. The Corps of Discovery pressed on, however, knowing they had to keep going, but also believing they would be rewarded with the waters of the Columbia that would quench their thirst and take them to their destination. For me, it's one of life's great metaphors. Although I find myself standing on the summit one moment, I'm reminded that there are so many more peaks to climb and so many more valleys to navigate before I reach my destination. It can be intimidating from the top. Lewis and Clark completed their journey to the Pacific in November of 1805, but still had a long trip back. I must always remember that my journey goes on, as did Lewis and Clark's. Their journey has since been completed. The script they wrote opened the West to so many new adventures, and their story continues to be told. The intrigue, the beauty, and the challenge of the unknown are what draw me to explore. But I wonder, as I look out on thousands of peaks, or stand in the enormous expanse of the open plains, will I have the strength and the character to finish my journey and reap the rewards of my ambitions? What script will I write? Will my story be told?